Welcome to another wildlife adventure with David Ireland. In this episode, we're going to search for a real live dragon, a creature that has all the magic of the storybook dragons. It's found in the great Southern Ocean, off the rugged coastline of Kangaroo Island. Now, the dragon's identity, for now, I will keep secret, but I promise you, if we find one, you'll remember this animal for as long as you live. This beautiful coastline here is just south of Sydney in Australia. Now, before we go in search of our dragon, I have some special research to do with some animals I've been working with on a regular basis. I have hand-fed many species of moray eels over the years. Even the tropical giants that can tear a handheld fish in half in a single bite. These eels are smaller and also very clever at shredding a carcass of flesh. Green morays, Gymnothorax prasinides, are carnivorous ocean predators with rows of extremely sharp teeth. They make up for their poor eyesight with an excellent sense of smell. Moray eels seldom attack divers, but can attack if stimulated with baits or if they feel threatened. These morays, however, I have hand-fed many times, and they seem to tolerate my presence. Morays strip flesh by twisting and even gaining purchase by tying their bodies in a knot. Morays can cause shocking hemorrhaging wounds. But when I deliberately bring my face close to the bait, they make no attempt to bite. Over the many years I have worked with animals, I've found by being calm, they seem to pick up my calm aura. They feel no threat and tolerate my presence. Another creature that allows me to demonstrate my theory is the giant cuttlefish. These cephalopods are by nature inquisitive creatures and happy to investigate divers. But understandably, when I grab the animal, it becomes frightened. It tries to get away and even discharges ink. When it realises it cannot break free, it presents its sharp beak, located in the centre of its powerful arms. The now frightened animal will try and bite me. when I gently stroke its head and deliberately concentrate my thoughts on being calm, the cuttlefish relaxes. Somehow his senses tell him I mean no malice. All living things have an electrical field around their bodies, and it has been proposed that this electrical current changes with mood. Cuttlefish have copper-based blood, and copper is a wonderful conductor of electricity. Maybe the cuttle can detect the calm aura I am generating. I firmly believe they can. This is a science only in its pioneering stage. However, we have documented my technique successfully many times with numerous animal encounters. Kangaroo Island is Australia's third largest island and has huge areas of untouched wilderness and pristine marine environments. Here we will search for our dragon, but first we will try to encounter as many of Kangaroo Island's exotic creatures as possible, both on land and underwater. When Matthew Flinders became the first European to discover this island in 1802, his crew killed 31 kangaroos, the first fresh meat they had had for weeks. Flinders named the place Kangaroo Island, but Aborigines discovered this paradise many thousands of years before Flinders, and they also enjoyed kangaroo meat. I am keen to search for our dragon, but it's a marine creature, and there are many more land animals we need to encounter first. Now this animal I need these gloves for, because this is one very prickly little guy. Come on, ow! Come on. If I can just flip him upside down. Oh, they're so sharp, those spines. Look at this amazing animal. Look at this. Now that is an echidna, one of the strangest creatures, because this is a marsupial. Similar in a way to a kangaroo, it does have a pouch. But unlike the kangaroo that gives birth to live young, these animals actually lay an egg, and then they gather the egg up into a pouch. The little baby is called a puggle. While it's in the pouch, it develops and it suckles milk, not from a teat, but from a milk patch, which is a little bit like sucking milk from a sponge. Now these gorgeous animals, the spines are going through my glove. As you can see, have got a wonderful defense mechanism. These These wonderful animals are, of course, an anteater. They also tear into the mounds of termites. They have a long, sticky tongue, and they can put that tongue right down into the galleries of ants' nests and termite mounds to get what they want. Very, very powerful, short little legs and strong little claws for digging. Now the interesting thing here, you can see what it's doing, it's bringing the tail up, right up over the head. So if a dingo rolled this animal upside down, he would be faced with all these very, very sharp spines. Now we'll let this little guy go, and you watch what he does. We'll see if he starts digging into the ground. And what he's doing now, because he knows I'm here, he'll start digging into the soil. And the deeper he goes, the harder it is for a predator to turn him upside down and get to the soft underbelly. is actually excavating out. These creatures mostly come out and feed late in the afternoon or early morning. Don't always see them in the middle of the day. Super sharp spines and a very, very specialised marsupial. We'll leave this one in peace. See you later, you prickly little fella. It's time to leave our monotreme and search for more dangerous creatures. A great way to catch goannas is to get up early in the morning, and they come out on these bush tracks to warm up in the sun. So we just cruise along here, we just might find one. I've got him. Now I do not want to get bitten by this Heath monitor because like all goannas, whoa, you're not happy, are you? Those teeth in that mouth are laden with bacteria and the saliva too. The reason they have so much bacteria in their mouth is because these creatures will feed on carrion, dead animals. A bite from this guy, well, you'd like to bite my nose off, wouldn't you? A bite from him would cause me a shocking infection. Now let's have a look at this creature. Unlike a snake, it has ears, so it can hear very, very well. It's got excellent eyesight. It has a forked tongue, the same as a snake, so they pick up scent particles in the air. They love birds, any ground animals. They can get up the trees after birds as well. They'll eat all sorts of creatures, but they mostly like carrion because it's a free feed. You can see by the colour of this animal being so dark that they conduct the heat very, very well. So he'll flatten himself out on this track and get the heat, warm his body up to go hunting. Wonderful, wonderful animal. The Australian monitor, this one is the Heath monitor on Kangaroo Island. And we'll let you go. Ah, you're not happy, are you? Have a look in that mouth. Of that rock so we don't hurt you. Now look at this guy, this is a young one, but you can see on the tail there that this beautiful creature is shedding its skin. Now like all these reptiles, as they grow older and grow bigger, they shed their skin. If only us humans could do that, there'd be no need for plastic surgery. If we could just shed our old skin and grow new underneath. See that pointy head? That allows these animals to get into carrion, into the carcass of dead animals. And also that head being that shaped allows them to get into the smallest crevices in rocks, in dead hollow trees of course, and also in the ground in burrows. And we'll let this little bloke go too. I just got to ask you a question. Do you like being on television? Yes. You do you? All right, we'll let you go too, all right? I'm sorry if I upset your burrow in your morning. I might put you down here and we'll let you run off. Don't you bite me. And not yet, not yet, don't you bite me. Go. You know, one thing I really love about working with wildlife is exploring the different habitats and environments, like this one. This is a salt lake right in the middle of Kangaroo Island. Now we've heard that the surrounding hills around this lake have tiger snakes. So hopefully here we can find our tiger. Searching for the black tiger snake will require some serious tracking, but I am at my most content when in the wilderness. Now there's tracks here of a really large tiger snake, and it's come through here somewhere. We can see here. Now, just watching this yakka tree, there's the skin. It's actually shed the skin. And by the size and width of that skin, you can see this is one big tiger. And I can hear something in this grass tree. And it might just be my tiger snake. There's something in here. I'll be very, very careful. Oh no. That's not what I want to show you really. Lying in here, it looks like a little tamed wallaby. I can't see the snake. Has been hit by the tiger snake. You can hear him in here. Oh, you poor thing. I don't want that snake to get me. Come on. Oh, you poor little bloke. Oh dear. Look at this guy. Let's have a look at you. Yep. Yep. This is a victim of a tiger snake. And the symptoms are quite typical. You can see the eye is hemorrhaging because of the clotting problems that tiger snake venom causes. And see how the coordination's all over the place because it's a neurotoxic venom that affects the central nervous system. And this poor little bloke has been hit by a very big tiger snake. Now we're going to have to button off the camera because I have to put this poor thing down. Sorry to show you this, but it gives you an idea the potency of tiger snake venom. Come on, little mate. Come on, little fella. not been successful locating the snake that attacked the poor wallaby. However, there is no shortage of snake habitat to search on Kangaroo Island. Come on, out you come. Oh, look at that. Look at this. I am so full of adrenaline right now. I might seem calm on the outside, but I'm shaking on the inside. This is my first black tiger snake. Now these wonderful predators are fairly common on Kangaroo Island, but it's taken us 3 weeks to find one. These snakes are elapids. They have hollow fangs in the top jaw, and they can deliver a lethal dose of venom. In fact, they're one of the most toxic snakes in the world. Quite amazing. Now these snakes, the black tiger snakes, are different to mainland tigers because these guys mostly feed on mammals, rats, mice and birds especially. On mainland Australia, they tend to get the bands, making them look more like a tiger. These guys are just black. The interesting thing about these snakes is the way they hunt. These are daytime hunters. So they come out early in the morning, they flatten themselves out, the black colour attracts the sun, they warm up and then they go hunting. Now normally a tiger snake is not a problem to humans. You literally have to stand on it. But if you did and you were envenomated by this snake, then first aid treatment would be very important, because most people that get bitten by tiger snakes would die if they don't receive the proper first aid and anti-venom. I do not want him to chew on my hand and deliver a lethal dose of venom. I think it's time you shed your skin, mate. It's getting a bit raggedy, you know that? It's getting a bit raggedy. You going to shed your skin? Yeah. Oh! Old rusting car bodies and farming machinery make for good snake lairs. My intrusion here has disturbed a deadly reptile. Picking it up by hand is extremely dangerous. I will have to continually shake down the lethal head to stop it striking. Oh, this is one more of these black tigers. And I am so cautious with these guys because he could easily kill me. And believe me, these are a very, very dangerous snake to handle because they can strike the hand that holds them. Just a wonderful, wonderful snake. Look at him. Very, very, very venomous. All right, okay, I'm going to let you go. You want to bite me, don't you? You really do. You want to bite me. Just calm down. There, now calm down. Just be gentle. An interesting thing about these snakes is here on Kangaroo Island, there are lots of goannas, and a goanna can actually grab hold of one of these snakes and kill it, which I find amazing because the venom in these tigers is so toxic. So how the old goanna comes up and kills one of these is beyond me. Don't you come back at me. Come on. I've got to stay alive. I've got 4 sons, okay? And a beautiful wife, so you got to be gentle with me. You are. You're calming down beautifully. Calm down. You want to go now? Off you go. Off you go. See you later, sweetheart. This innocent mound here is actually an ant's nest, and these ants are meat eaters. They play a very important role in the Australian bush because any animal that dies, they feed on the carcass. And of course, ultimately, they return the nutrients back to the soil. But one thing about meat-eating ants is they are very, very aggressive and very territorial. If I stir up this nest, they will want to protect the nest and of course the queen. They give off signals, scent particles in the air, chemicals that go across the nest, and all the soldiers all come out wanting to fight. And if I stir up the nest and stayed here, they would swarm all over me and literally bite me to pieces. So I'm going to film this nest, stir it up with a stick and let you see what they do, because they really get upset. Here we go. Now first you can see every exit hole around the nest, they all start pouring out straight away. And boy, are they cranky or what? They are so upset. Look at that. And some of them have worked out where I am, and they're starting to come off the nest and come towards me. So if I stir it up a bit more, they get more and more agitated. And now they're getting on me. So I'm out of here. We'll let the camera do the work. What we have here is a big male koala. It's very difficult to get close to one in the wild. In fact, I've never been this close to a koala in the wild. Normally they are so far up a gum tree, you just can't get anywhere near them. I'm going to try to. Now, are you going to let me climb up to you? Are you? Can I climb up to you and say hello? Now, a big male like this, they've got very, very sharp claws and they're incredibly powerful. In fact, believe it or not, they might look cuddly, but a wild koala can take your face off. Now look at this. This is the closest I've ever been to a big male koala. I'm going to try something you probably shouldn't do. Can I just give you a... Oh, all right, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, was that itchy there, was it? Can I touch you again very gently? Oh, is that itchy there? Is that itchy? Hey? Hello, mate. Hello, aren't you a big boy? It's a little bit itchy there, isn't it? Hello? Hello? These are wonderful creatures. They're a marsupial. When he was born, he was not much bigger than a jelly bean, and he developed in his mother's pouch. Look at him. Is that itchy, is it? Look at him. Hello. They're amazing creatures. They mostly feed on eucalypt trees, eucalypt leaves, which are high in fibre and low in energy. So these creatures sleep for maybe 70% of the time. Hello, mate. But we've lost many of the koalas on mainland Australia, mostly through habitat destruction. But there are plenty here on Kangaroo Island. Now this gorgeous little animal I have here is a ringtail possum. And this little fella was found clinging to the fur of a pet dog. So something has happened to its mother, because normally at this age it would still be riding on the back of its mother. These are marsupials, so they have a pouch and they develop in the pouch. A prehensile tail, look at this gorgeous tail. So they're very much a tree-dwelling marsupial, and if I can work it out here, we'll show you the face. Don't bite me. Look at the eyes on this little cute thing. So you can see that they are a nocturnal marsupial. Got big bulging eyes. They mostly feed on blossoms high up in the trees, and the mother will create or build a nest. And you can see this little one's looking for somewhere to hide. In fact, if I open my pocket, it'll probably, look at that, it'll go in straight away. Look at that little tiny thing, gorgeous little thing. But these ringtail possums are very vulnerable to being attacked by feral cats. So that's a major concern with these animals, is feral cats. They're also preyed upon by owls, and even the goanna is quite partial to a ringtail possum. We'll bring this one out and show you one more time. Come on, out you come. I want you to show everybody how gorgeous you are. Look at that. Little ringtail possum. Sharp little claws, sharp little teeth, beautiful little face. Look at him. Kangaroo Island's isolation has protected many of its creatures from disease and predation by feral animals. But a killer has been introduced to this island, a killer that ultimately may threaten the very existence of the animals here. Now, a major concern here on Kangaroo Island is the number of native animals being preyed upon by feral cats, like this one. Now, this guy has just been trapped and is not very happy. The problem with feral cats is not only are they very clever killers of wildlife, but they also carry diseases that are easily transmitted into native animals. Even the poor old koala becomes infected. So these animals are a big problem. Most birds have no defence against predation by cats, especially chicks. Now we've got a real problem here. Just walking along these rocks, and here is a little penguin chick, and it hasn't lost all its down yet, so it hasn't gained the oily feathers of adulthood. Now I can see where it's come from. There's a burrow just up there that's got lots of downy feathers at the entrance. Now why this animal is out here, I don't know, but it is very vulnerable to being attacked by cats especially, and of course goannas. Now I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to return this animal to the burrow. Come here. No, don't bite me, I'm not going to hurt you. But if I leave you out here, I know I'm not allowed to hold you, but if I leave you here, I know what's going to happen to you. And hopefully, yep, it's the only burrow here. Now, if that's your burrow, I'm hoping that you will run up into it. Go on, off you go. Yeah! Fantastic. How was that? Before we go in search of the dragon, I am keen to encounter the world's rarest sea lion. During the 1800s, sealers came to Kangaroo Island, and they slaughtered the fur seals and sea lions for their meat, their blubber and their hides. Thankfully now, seals are protected, and the fur seal numbers are increasing. But the Australian sea lion is still extremely rare. Our best chance of an encounter with one of these magnificent animals is along this rugged coastline. Now here we are on this rugged bit of coast of Kangaroo Island. And right behind me are some pinnipeds. These are New Zealand fur seals. So they're not really a true seal because they have external ears, and you can see that their back flippers are really designed for steering. Their front ones are designed for swimming, and they can walk on all four. Now these beautiful animals feed mostly on crustaceans, cephalopods, squid. That's what they like to eat. This area here is what they call a sub-adult haulage area, where they haul out onto the rocks. They might stay here 3 or 4 days. Now we're going to jump in and dive with these animals and get some great footage underwater, which should be really good fun. New Zealand fur seals are slowly increasing in numbers. Happily, there are now around 50,000 or more of these agile marine mammals. Females produce a new pup every year and live 15 years or more. The biggest threat to fur seals at sea are killer whales and white-pointed sharks. While frolicking on the surface, they are vulnerable to attack from below, a thought I try and dismiss while filming them. Fur seals are inquisitive, but not normally keen to interact with divers. Hopefully we will find an Australian sea lion, as they are known for their friendliness. On the east coast of Australia, there's a species of wrasse called the blue groper. And these animals grow up to around 25 kilos, 50 pounds or more. They're very, very special fish because as divers, we can hand feed them. And we normally hand feed them with sea urchins. Now, on this part of Kangaroo Island, there is also a species of blue wrasse. But these guys are giants. They grow to maybe 30, 40, even 50 kilograms, up to 100 pounds in weight. And they feed on abalone. Now we're going to dive down here and try and hand feed some of these magnificent giant wrasse. Should be great. The diving here rivals the Great Barrier Reef for its colour and exotic fish life. There are also giant wrasse here. They feed on invertebrates, molluscs and crustaceans. Like the eastern blue groper or blue wrasse, they begin their life as a female, brown and green in colour. Dominant fish double in size, become a radiant blue and become territorial males. Blue gropers or wrasse spend their daytime hours searching for a meal, seizing prey like abalone and exhaling unwanted sand and rubble from their gills. These monsters have not been hand-fed before, but a tempting crayfish should attract the local dominant male's interest. By exposing the softer underbelly of the spiny crayfish, the groper attacks the crustacean with powerful jaws and peg-like teeth. Spearfishermen seriously depleted blue groper numbers, but thankfully now they are fully protected and are making a wonderful comeback. An Australian sea lion has been spotted, but filming the animal may prove difficult.
We've got a beautiful Australian sea lion here. We've been looking for one for a while, and we found this beautiful young male, and he won't come in and play. I really want to get some footage of this magnificent animal underwater. I don't know how we're going to get him to come in though. You're just sitting there enjoying the sun, aren't you? Come on, the whole world wants to see you swim. You'll be famous. I'll see you all over the world. Come on, you beautiful boy. Come on. Please, come on, darling. Please come and play.
Our sea lion is free to swim away, but chooses to come to me. It displays its belly in a gesture of friendship and trust. It's most important I do not stress this animal in any way. Adults can dive down 200 metres or more to feed on crustaceans and squid. These are the rarest sea lions on Earth and are sadly declining in numbers. National parks enthusiastically protect breeding colonies of sea lions in South Australia, but more funding and research is urgently required to save these precious marine mammals. Sea lions rival dolphins with their curiosity with humans. At his choosing, I am within touching distance, and he is allowing me to film him at extremely close range.
Hello. Hello, sweetheart. Hello. How you going?
His vision is extremely acute. Rounded lenses and highly developed retinas allow excellent underwater vision. His whiskers allow for additional tactile sensors. I do not know if this highly developed and intelligent mammal can sense my feelings for him, but again and again he returns to me and gazes directly into my eyes. As the sun backlights his head, his white fur glows, and when he swims through the shafts of sunlight, he becomes almost angelic. We must do all we can to passionately protect these animals from extinction. It's now time to search for the dragon. Jim from Kangaroo Island Diving Safaris has intimate knowledge of the extremely rare leafy sea dragon, but our chances of finding one is very slim.
In this bay there's 5 that I'm aware of.
Only 5. Illegal trading in leafy sea dragons. is a major concern.
The aquariums would ring up and offer you serious amounts of money to collect one for them.
What sort of money would they offer?
Well, one aquarium from the States offered $10,000.
10,000 US for one animal. Leafy sea dragons are almost impossible to see in kelp. And with only 5 individuals ever been sighted in this remote bay, our chances of an encounter are very poor. But then, a leafy sea dragon is in my lights. His leaf-like appendages disguise his outline and protect him from predation by rats. This precious cousin to the seahorse feed only on tiny shrimp-like creatures called amphipods. And amazingly, during mating, the female deposits some 200 eggs into a brood patch under the male's tail. He carries and protects the eggs until they hatch. As a child, I was in awe of fairy tale stories of dragons. And yet here is a creature with a head, body and tail shape that is unmistakably dragon-like. I have never seen a more enchanting creature in my life. I promised you if we found our dragon, you would remember it for as long as you live. Hopefully, you will. Now, there's another one in here that I'll show you. Be very gentle with you. This is amazing because what I'm finding, this whole island is literally honeycombed with burrows. And there's a huge diversity of habitats here across Kangaroo Island. And yet these Heath monitors seem to be quite happy in basically all the habitats that are here, which is quite... Oh, where did
What have you
come
got
from?
there? What's that funny thing? What's that funny thing you got there? Can I eat that? Can I eat it?
These are a protected animal in Australia. You can't eat them.
Can I pat him on the ear? Can I pat him on the ear?
There's no
can I pull
way.
his
Look,
ear? Can I pat
see
him on
these
the ear?
big talons? They would literally rip your face off. And those teeth, they give shocking infections. You can't pat these animals.
Can I chew him? Can I chew him up? Can I chew him in my mouth?
Neil, can
No.
you please
What?
escort this gentleman
What?
away, please?
Can I pat his ear? I want to pat him.
Can't sit there.
I want to pat him on the... What is that? What is that funny thing?
You're upsetting David.
What is that
And
funny?
go in.
What was that funny thing? It was...
Anyway,
I want to play it.
I guess we better let you go, eh, before there's any more interruptions. Do you want to go back in your burrow or are you going to run off somewhere? Let's see what happens. There's your burrow. I'll just get out of your way. Whoa! There goes another goanna.